The U.S. Supreme Court threw out the murder conviction of Oklahoma death row inmate Richard Glossip, saying he is entitled to a new trial. The state's attorney general said they will pursue one. In a rare instance of agreement, both his lawyers and the state claimed Glossip did not receive a fair trial after a key witness lied in court. The 62-year-old was convicted and sentenced to death for the 1997 killing of his former boss, a motel owner. He has long maintained his innocence. Glossip's attorney wrote of the ruling, "Today was a victory for justice and fairness in our judicial system." In Chicago, a Southwest Airlines plane nearly collided with a smaller business jet this morning. A live stream shows the larger aircraft coming in for a landing before suddenly ascending again to avoid the smaller jet as it was crossing the runway. You see it there. Officials say the business jet entered the runway without authorization. The Southwest plane circled back around and arrived safely later. The near miss comes as federal aviation officials investigate several recent safety incidents, including last month's deadly mid-air collision in Washington, D.C. The World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over a mystery illness in northwestern Congo that has killed more than 50 people. The outbreak was initially traced to a remote village. Doctors say many of the deaths happened within just 48 hours after symptoms started. That was in late January. More than 400 cases have been recorded since. Doctors say symptoms are similar to Ebola and dengue, but tests have ruled those out. Some tests were positive for malaria, which was determined as the likely cause of another mystery outbreak last year. In Rome, Pope Francis remains in critical but stable condition. Vatican officials said today that his blood functions are holding steady and he's had no new respiratory problems. The 88-year-old was even well enough to resume some of his papal duties from the hospital as he battles double pneumonia. The Vatican says he met with top church officials to approve sainthood designations. Outside the hospital, his followers gathered to pray for his recovery.
For believers, prayer is the oxygen of our life. It is hope. It is what makes us feel united. For us, it is like going to visit someone we know. We don't know how things are going, but we stay close to them with prayer.
On Saturday, Pope Francis suffered what doctors called an asthma-like respiratory crisis that required supplemental oxygen. The Vatican has not reported any such scares since. And some good news from space. NASA says the asteroid that once had a small but very real chance of hitting our planet is no longer a threat. At one point, scientists believed the space rock had a nearly 3% chance of hitting the Earth in the year 2032. But now, both NASA and the European Space Agency say the chance of impact is nearly zero. And while Earth is in the clear, scientists say there's still a small chance it could hit our moon in 2032.